These are sterile. They're nice and clean. This is a fairly young grapevine. What had happened is I put it in the ground that spring. A moose came through, pulled my grapes, the whole plant right up out of the ground, took a bite out of each one of my grapes, my grapevines, and moved on, right? So that's how I'm going to leave this one here. Now I've got a whole line of different types of grapes, and there goes a hawk. Just took a swoop down over the goose pen, and I don't think the goose even saw it. So I've got a whole line of grapes here on this fence. I don't do arbors, folks. I just do a regular rugged fence with, well, metal poles and 1x2s strips, and I just zip tied them. That's how fancy I am, folks. That's what works, and it's held up for years. So I'm gonna continue going down my grapevine fence, and then I'm going to go down to my little orchard and prune those grapes there. Sorry about the lighting. It's kind of coming through. For those people who have the perfect lighting out in the yard, I don't know how they do it. Maybe they take more time than I do to do their videos, but I don't have time to mess around, so y'all haven't complained yet. Thank you very much for that. Like I said, I'm going to continue pruning my grapes. I like my grapes. I like my grapes to snack on, folks, so I make sure I have grapes. I just got done pruning my grapes. I took some cuttings, dipped them in root hormone, and, well, I'll show you. That's what I've got. So what I will do is, that is ever so slightly dampened peat moss. I will just add a little bit of water when I get back to the house, put a clear plastic bag over them, set them out of the direct sunlight, and see what we get. So I am way behind on pruning everything here. So nothing has started to swell, there's no buds forming, no nothing yet. So I think I caught it just in time. I wouldn't have wanted to wait another week. So that is done. I'm pretty pleased with that. What do I do with my grape cuttings? I start more grapes. If they're healthy and strong, I keep them. And if they look kind of iffy, I don't even bother, because in my experience, if they look iffy, they never make it anyway. So they go in the compost pile. So I haven't even taken count. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would help if I put them in a straight line there everywhere. I just cut them and put them in, right? So there's over 20 cuttings anyway. So the rest of the cuttings will go right in either the brush pile or the compost, right? So I really don't have much to say today. I really do need to fix my hops trellis, my support system, because we had these were loaded, absolutely loaded with hops, and hops binds, they're not vines, but hops binds, they're just a tangled mess. They like to tangle around everything. Even though they're a light vine, you get those hops on there, the blossoms. You get those blossoms on there, and you get them loaded like I do. I've got 4 different types of hops here. It does get heavy. It makes like its own little privacy fence. Wind comes up from the south, southeast, and it's like hitting a wall, and the support broke. So that definitely needs to be fixed. I need to take the old support down and redo it. I need to separate my hops. Should have done that last year, folks, but it's just too wet to get in here. They just need the whole thing worked out. All redone, all redone. I think the upright posts are still good. They look good. The stakes, the stakes are getting quite rotten. I just pulled this one out of the ground with no effort at all. It's all rotten, so I'll have to replace that. And this one was the nugget hops. So like I said, I've got 4 different types of hops plants here. I definitely need to spend time in the hops bed this year. Hopefully the weather will cooperate, and we'll go from there, right? There's a lot of things. My poor garden looks pretty sad, folks. It's still a lot of wet. The gate is open, so the geese have been up here and finding a lot of greenery. But before I can even think about planting, folks, there's so much work I've got to do. I've got a trellis that blew over in one of those windstorms that we had. So I might have to redo that. That probably should have been reinforced last year. And again, not much time was spent in the garden because it was just I couldn't get in the garden, folks. So I think more structures need to be modified. They need to be replaced. They need to be rebuilt. They need a little bit more uprights. That's the thing with wood. If it's in the ground, it rots, right? And eventually the whole thing will rot, but right? All right, bye-bye.